Hey guys, today we are going to do some more handstand prep work. I posted a video last Sunday on Hop to It, and we were working on Shakti kicks from the back of our mat to the front of our mat and heel hops. Today we're going to be doing something that I call a diving vinyasa, and it's great shoulder prep for handstand, and it's also something that is going to help you work on those floats. So it's going to make things a little bit more fluid and seamless when you start to work into the handstand holds and you're starting to hold a handstand and then you're starting to work into your press. So again, this is not for a handstand hold. This is handstand prep to work up to those holds. So we're going to do a little bit of a warm up. This is going to be about a 10-minute video, and then you have some work to do. Your shoulders are going to be burnt out by the end of the 10 minutes. I can promise you that. So go ahead and come onto your mat. The first thing we're going to do is stretch our wrists. It's the best thing to do when you're doing any type of handstand work is stretch the wrists and the shoulders. So turn your fingertips backwards and then just start to work into the wrists back and forth, warming up those wrists. Maybe do a little side-to-side motion. If this is too much on the wrist, you can always turn the fingertips to the sides of the mat. But when I first started my handstand practice, I started doing these diving vinyasas really, really slow, and eventually my presses started to work into practice. So I had already been holding handstands, but when I started these, I was starting to work on pressing without hopping, and that really, really helped my practice. Then turn the palms upside down so you have the wrists with the fingertips facing in this time, and then you can just rock side to side so you'll feel an intensity in the wrists here. So any type of work, any type of drills that you do, you want to make sure that you're stretching the areas of the body that you're working. And then from here, we're going to come into Anahata Asana, extended puppy pose. So work the hands all the way out. Keep the hips high, working the shoulders down to the mat. You can take the hands wide. You can take the forehead down to the earth, which is going to give you a little bit less in the shoulders and less in the cervical spine. Or you can take your chin or nose down to the mat, and it'll give you a little more. Take about 5 more breaths in that puppy pose. Then from here, sliding into Sphinx pose. So draw the heart forward. Keep the forearms down onto the mat. Keep the hip points down. Press the heart forward. If you don't have any low back issues and you want a little bit more stretch, press into the palms. Come into seal pose. Straighten through the elbows. Press the hip points. Keep the shoulders relaxed down your back. Just keep pulling and drawing the shoulders down. Try to relax the glutes if you can, and then come back down. Take the arms out nice and wide. Inhale, roll the shoulders back. Exhale, dip the right shoulder down. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, dip the left shoulder down. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, come all the way down. Hands outside the nipple line. Tuck the toes. Inhale, plank pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. So come into downward facing dog. Pedal through those heels. Pedal through the knees. Shake the head yes and no. And then slow and controlled, walk all the way to the top of your mat. Try to keep the palms pressed. And then hang heavy here. So working into those hamstrings. So this is something good to do after you've already done a yoga practice. You're fully stretched. Maybe trying to do this outside or in any type of area where your muscles can completely release. Working inside and air conditioning is just going to tighten up those muscles. Shake the head, yes and no. Pedal through the knees, working into those hamstrings. So you're going to be using your hamstrings, your shoulders, your core. And then round up. Take the hands behind the back, draw the shoulders down. So one of the things that you want to make sure that I talked about on my last video, you want to make sure that you're stacking the crown of the head over the shoulders, over the tailbone, and then straight down. You don't want an arch in the back. So anytime you're working, you want to make sure the shoulders are coming over the fingertips. So this is what it looks like. From the top of the mat, you want to make sure you have about a quarter of the mat ahead of you. And then you can soften the knees. Take the right foot in the center of the mat. Left leg comes up into standing split. So you want to make sure when you're in that standing split, and I'll do it from this side so you can see, drop the hip down in line with the other hip. So you don't want to have an open hip. You want to have a closed hip. Scissoring the inner thighs towards one another engages Mula Bandha. So from here, you're going to flatten out the palms, making sure the shoulders are over the wrists to start. And then when you rise up on the tippy toes, then shift the shoulders over the fingertips. And this is your starting point. You can have a bent knee on the bottom leg or straight, depending on your hamstring flexibility. So basically all you're going to do is you're going to rock forward and then slide the right foot back like it's on a roller skate. So I'll do it both directions. So you're going to rise up on the toes, press the finger pads in, make sure the shoulders are over the wrists, look forward, gaze forward, tuck the tailbone slightly under, scissor the inner thighs towards one another, take the shoulders over the fingertips like you're going to rock forward and fall forward. And as soon as you come forward, let the other leg hop back and dive into your vinyasa. So it's that rocking forward motion. I'll do the left leg now so you can see the other side. You only want to land on the ball of the foot. You want to make sure one foot is landing, not both. So here's what it looks like from the other side, and then I'll turn to the other side of the mat. Plant the fingertips, rise up on the tippy toes, rock forward, making sure the shoulders are over the fingertips. Continue to rock forward. The top leg that's lifted, you're going to lift slightly from the glute and the hamstring. Tuck the tailbone, scissor the thighs, rock forward, and dive, only landing on that standing bottom leg. Up dog or cobra, downward facing dog. I'll do it from the other side. So once again, the leg that is planted, the standing grounded leg, can be bent if you have real tight hamstrings, or it can be straight if you don't. So eventually, your dives might become longer, more floaty, and you might be able to sustain the hold a little bit longer. So it's all about the lift with that top leg. So even though my bottom leg is bent, doesn't matter. You can straighten or bend. The top leg does the work as you press forward. Watch my shoulders. Shoulders over fingertips to start. And I'm diving by lifting the left hip and hamstring. Lift and dive. When you first start out, you're not going to have a huge lift. So this is what it looks like when you're first starting these. Lean forward, and you take a little hop back. So that's it for today. You got some more work to do. Make sure you do 10 on the right and 10 on the left. Your heart rate's going to become super elevated. Your shoulders are going to be sore. Your wrists are going to need a little bit of stretching afterwards. But keep working on those. Eventually, you'll start to find that lift. Thank you all. Namaste.